G'day guys, so today I'm doing a unboxing and review on the Everest action camera. So what do you expect in an Everest action camera? Well, this is the 1080p model and these are all the features. It has a 170 degree HD wide angle fisheye lens. It supports 1080p at 60 frames per second, also supports 1080p at 30 frames per second, and supports 720p at 120 frames per second for your slow motions, 720p at 60 frames per second, and 720p at 30 frames per second. The camera in it is an 8 megapixel camera, but can also be pushed up to a 12 megapixel and 16, but it's not genuine, it's just being pushed to a higher level than what it is. Yeah, and these are all the specs as you guys can read on here. It has a 3-hour battery life and 90 minutes at 1080p. As you guys can see, the box styling is very similar to what you'd see on the GoPro. But hey, let's crack on into it. So the top lifts off like that, and this slides out over here. So now we can remove these, and this is what we're left with. So right here at the back of the camera you have a little clip that you just push on out. Oops, sorry guys. There we go. Easy as that. And there is the camera. Very, very nice looking in its waterproof casing. And I will just get into the box. So this is what's inside the box. Comes with all these attachments. The thing I really like is it actually comes with a separate case. If you don't want to be using the waterproof case and you want better audio, you can use a case that is not waterproof generally. Comes with a cleaning cloth and heaps of accessories. Really, really good value. I put this up for $69 from the warehouse, and it was full price. And it's a 1080p model. They also sell a 720p model, and the 720p model is $39, I believe. And this is all New Zealand pricing as well. So this is what the camera looks like inside the casing, and I'll show you what it looks like outside the casing. So this is what the camera looks like outside its casing. It has a big 1080p HD front camera, like the writing on it, and the camera itself pushes out. Looks identical to what you'd see as one of the older GoPros. The buttons on it, you have a power mode button, you have an OK button, you have your up and down, which up is for Wi-Fi and down is for turning the audio on and off. The back we have a 2-inch LCD screen, and there's like a pattern on the side, which I believe is actually quite nice feature to it. There is an LED on top, I presume used for recording, and there's 2 LEDs on the side here, one red and one blue. Blue is to indicate that it's on, and the red is to indicate that it's recording. And one other feature with this is what I figured out is on the side here you only get a micro USB and an SD card slot. There is no HDMI port. And let's turn it on. And that is the screen. It's a really vibrant LCD screen. I reckon one of the best you can get for this price range. And this is what the camera itself looks like. So right now it's at 1080p at 30 frames per second. But if we go through the settings, we now have camera mode, 8 megapixels. There's all the saved videos, and we have the settings. So with the settings, we have quite a few options, to be honest. So you move the up and down buttons to get through. You have your photo, your video resolution you can change. Let's have a look what we have here. So we have 1080p at 30 frames. We also go up 1080p at 60 frames, 1080p at 30, 720, 120, 720, 60, and 720, 30. So get out of there. If we now go into the next settings, you then have your camera settings, your photo resolution. You can change what megapixel camera you want. Oh, if it will focus, hopefully she will. Camera trying to focus on the camera. But anyway, you have the 2 megapixel, 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 12 megapixel, and 16 megapixel. But the 8 megapixel is genuine, the 12 is not. This camera does not support 4K resolution, but for this price you would not expect it to. Right here you can actually adjust the white balance, which is pretty awesome on a cheap camera like this. You can also adjust the exposure. You can put it on driving mode, Wi-Fi, light source, and yeah, it's pretty good features for what it is. So you can really try and get that crispest kind of video you're possibly looking for. And yeah, that's it. So far I've used this camera and I've recorded a little bit. I will give you guys a snippet recording of what I've done so you guys can get an actual real world idea of what it does produce. But so far I'm really happy with it. For 69 New Zealand dollars, like, you honestly cannot get anything on the value better than this. Like, yeah, it isn't 4K, but hey, 1080p is pretty much all you need. So anyway guys, this is my first ever YouTube review. I'd love to make more of these, so please like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night. Cool.